highway. The arrest of the kidnappers came barely 72 hours after the command paraded 27 suspected criminals. The state commander of Omotekun Corps, Adetunji Adeleye, said the victims were rescued through the support of local hunters. Some of the rescued victims thanked the Omotekun operatives for coming to their rescue.
One of them used Okada to block the good portion of the road so that commuters will not have choice than to slow down. Now, the second one was the same person that collected 1.2 million naira ransom from them in August. And he already told them to bring 20 million naira this time around. But we were able to catch him on the scene. No hiding place for kidnappers in Ondo State. We will comb the whole of the forest. The Amotekun Rangers will comb the whole of the forest.
Amotekun, they do well. Then they do serious with hunter, with all their bile. He do well for us because them plenty come. As them plenty come, they enter that bush. Then they scatter that bush. These people they run. They see one shoot for them.
They carry us enter bush. And if you no feel run, they go carry something, beat us for back. Cutlass.
Following a viral video released by a very dark man on alleged infractions by officers of the Nigerian Correctional Service, giving Idris Okuneye, popularly known as Bobrisky, a VIP treatment out of the prison facility, the Civil Defense Correctional, Fire and Immigration Services Board has suspended the following senior officers of the service. The officers include Michael Anugwa, that's the Deputy Controller of Corrections in charge of Medium Security Custodial Center, Kirikiri, Lagos State; Sikiru Adekunle, Deputy Controller of Corrections in charge of Maximum Security Custodial Center, Kirikiri, Lagos State. Also, the board has suspended ASC Ogbule Samuel Obina at the Medium Security Custodial Center, Afikpo, Ebonyi State, for allegedly accompanying a convicted inmate out of a custodial center to a location outside the facility. In a related development, the board has equally suspended another senior officer of the service, Ilo Afonsi Kechuku, Deputy Controller of Corrections in charge of Medium Security Custodial Center, Kuje Abuja, for allegedly receiving monies on behalf of an inmate. The suspension of these officers is to allow for further investigation on the various allegations, while assuring that the outcome will be made public when concluded. A public affairs analyst and legal practitioner, Remigius Akimbinu, joins me on the news for more update. He joins me virtually. Good to have you join us. So the suspension of these senior officers across the country by the board of the fire service, immigration and all, does that now, for example, lay the validity of that video to rest? Mr. Akimbinu, confirm that you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you.
Okay, so I was asking if the suspension of these officers lay the issues around the validity of that video to rest.
Well, it might not confirm any validity, but then it will go a long way to show that the government of the day, particularly the Ministry of Interior and the institutions they are the board, that they are proactive and they are doing something positive, something we have not really witnessed in this climb before. I mean, the swift action. So it's not about confirmation, it's more about the heartwarming situation that we have on our hands as a nation.
But should it take this kind of report for the ministry to know what's going on within its agencies?
Well, it might not be the case that it should take this kind of what happened for the ministry to know what's going on. But I want us to condone this government or the ministry for that, because it's a ministry on the move. And whatever is being discovered, well, they will be judged by the way they act, by the way the personnel they react to it. For instance, the minister has been somebody who has been acting positively on a lot of issues in this country, and in this situation, people will be very happy that something like this happened, and in an unprecedented manner. Within 48 hours, a panel was set up, and within hours, 12 hours or so, and we are already hearing that people are being brought to book. We have issues like this in the past. We have situations whereby panels were being set up, and you realize that they won't even see the light of the day.
And that's the question I really want to ask, because several times we've seen, like you just rightly also noted, panels like this being set up, and again, nothing comes out of it. You've also rightly said that the minister has been commended as one of performing ministers in this administration by lots of people. Can we also expect some level of transparency in this process to see to the latter, that those who are found guilty be dealt with?
Yes, at this juncture, at this point, we have nothing to say other than to urge the ministry to continue in the vein that they have started. So far, we cannot say they have tried to hide anything under the carpet. We cannot say they have not been transparent. So far, they have been transparent. I mean, within 2 days of setting up, 48 hours of setting up a panel, we are already seeing the signs that heads will roll. So we can continue to urge, we have to continue to urge them on to be transparent, because in fact, when I was reading it in the news today, names were being mentioned of those who were suspended here and there, and the board that effected the suspension, that carried the orders, they were under the minister, and is in control of the correctional institutions and immigration and others. And so I believe that they have done very well. They have done very well.
Well, how so well far they have done, Nigerians will find out in the coming days as this particular issue progresses. Thank you so much for your time. Legal practitioner Remedios Akimbino, thank you.
You're welcome.
A chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ola Olukoyede, says he has approved the remittance of over 1 billion naira to the federal government recovery account. He said this at the release of the NATI 2022-2023 oil and gas report in Abuja. Celestine Area reports.
The principles of extractive industry transparency initiatives are not only considered as global for promoting transparency, management of revenues and natural resources, but also as a tool to strengthen public trust and economic development. Nigerians' participation in NATI is to ensure the country's natural and gas reserves are managed responsibly for the benefit of our citizens. The 2022-2023 report is aimed to help the government fight corruption and formulate national policies.
Reports are guided us in shaping policy decisions, formulating reforms and instituting critical measures to foster accountability, particularly in the oil and gas sectors. In a sector where opacity could easily lead to leakages, inefficiencies in corruption, NATI has become an indispensable partner.
Chairman of the EFCC say they have made substantial gains using the last report released by NATI.
At the level of presenting the report, then we take off from there to ensure that the recommendations therein and the regulations therein, particularly as it relates to criminal infraction and violation of our financial laws, is taken up very seriously.
Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, Audrey Obonaya, commended the President Tinubu-led administration for their non-interference when they carry out their duties.
Governance issues, the process issues, on revenues, how much did the companies pay to government, how much of that money did government actually receive? Where is the money? What did we use the money for? So who are the people, who are the agencies that are responsible for collecting this revenue?
The report contains figures of quantity of crude oil produced, quantity stolen, quantity used for domestic consumption, importation of PMS into the country, amongst others. The federal government will study findings and recommendations in the report and take actions when necessary by implementing policies. Celestina Iria, TVC News, Abuja.
And still ahead on the news at 10.